And you are live.
All right, we are live. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to what's going to be another fun 2 hours. We're going to play more of that mellow music after a while, right? Right there, Goose. All right, I'm Alan Warren, and my graphics girl here, Miss Katie, is with me. You want me to raise your mic or lower your mic?
You can lower it.
All right.
I have you streaming just on one feed.
You just
It's just one feed for the
you just do whatever technical stuff you got to do. All right, folks. This is the pre-show show, and we got some big things in the works for the RV Show USA and for RVing in Texas. Got to wipe this water off my mouth. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be making some changes. Now, if you listen to the show on the radio, you'll probably not even notice any of the changes. But here on Facebook and on YouTube, on social media, we're going to be doing a whole lot more interactive with the audience. So during our commercial breaks, what we've been doing has been talking about our sponsors, and we love our sponsors because without them, we wouldn't have a show. But the graphics girl is going to be bringing some things to my attention. If you got any questions or comments, we're going to hold our guests over through the breaks. That starts in a couple of weeks, and then that way we can get some maybe some candid comments, if you will, from them that they wouldn't maybe say on the radio. But anyway, that's going to come up here in the next couple of weeks. We've got a great show for y'all tonight. We're going to start it off with a good friend from DeMontrond RV down in Texas City. That's RV Sam. RV Sam is extremely knowledgeable. He is an RVer himself, and he always talks about really cool stuff. And we've got it. It's called a Super C that he's going to be talking about on today's show. Then we're going to go. We've got a guy, I don't know how weird he is. He's got to be a little bit weird. His name is Steve Boosty, and he has got a place called the Museum of the Weird. Yeah, a Museum of the Weird. And where would the Museum of the Weird be? Where else but Austin, Texas?
I was going to say your house, but, you know.
No. This is really weird. Anyway, Steve's got a pretty cool deal going, and if you've not been to or never heard of the Museum of the Weird, Steve Boosty's going to tell us all about it. Then we've got, of course, our very own RV Nana, Deanna LeBlanc, from PPL Motor Homes. PPL is one of our founding sponsors here on the show. They are the largest consignment RV dealer in the United States. They are the 400-pound gorilla, so to speak. They sell thousands and thousands of used RVs a year. They do a really great job. And they have got one this week. Diana just sent me the link, and it is a classic Airstream. Just superb, a beautiful, beautiful used RV. And we're going to talk about some other things with her as well. And then we're going to travel to Texas's oldest city. Yeah, the oldest city in Texas. You want me to turn your mic on, baby?
Yeah, if you want.
We're going to go to Texas's oldest city, and I'm not going to tell you what's getting ready to happen there. I'm going to let our friend Kelly Daniel tell you that. But in this oldest city in Texas are the world's best fried green tomatoes. If you never had fried green tomatoes, you don't know what you are missing.
You know, I don't really care for tomatoes, but when you made fried green tomatoes, that changed everything.
Oh, they're wonderful.
But that's the only way I'll eat tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes is pretty good. Anyway, it's we're going to be talking a little bit about fried green tomatoes, not too much. And then in hour number 2, any pet owners out there, any dog lovers, we've got our very own RV pet vet, Deanna, Dr. Deanna from RVtravel.com. She's going to be on with us to start out hour number 2, and then we're going to follow it up and finish the show talking about Alaska. Yep, I wore my Alaska shirt, and we're going to be talking about Alaska. I just love it there. My wife, Lisa, she's in the other studio over here watching. What am I doing something wrong, Brian? No.
Are we doing 2 hours of a certain show, or are we switching?
We're going to start out with RVing in Texas, and then we're going to just segue one feed into the RV Show USA.
So it's all streaming from the RV Show USA. For those of y'all that are wondering, why is the RV Show USA playing RVing in Texas? The RV Show USA is the parent show of RVing in Texas.
Yes, it is. And so what's happening is we're doing this watch party thing, and Facebook, it's a new deal on Facebook and social media. By the way, we have less than a minute to go, so y'all stand by. Make sure you let us know where you're watching the show from. Go ahead and post, just say hi and where you're watching the show from. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know that as well. We have a lot of fun for 2 hours every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. welcome aboard, everybody. We've got 30 seconds to go, and I was going to say, Lisa is in the Florida, what is that called? The Florida Group Watch Party?
That one is actually having a little bit of a technical thing. We're working through it.
Okay, so she's not there.
So right now she's just hanging out with all of us right here.
All right, good. Okie doke. If
Ray
you have any
and
questions,
Linda Bowling, say hi.
how are the mayor and the first lady
10 seconds.
doing? All right, y'all. Here we go. 10 seconds to go. I'm going to turn your mic down.
Okay, cool.
Satellite coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting on great radio stations on the XDS satellite platform and streaming live worldwide across social media.
I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the sky. I saw miles and miles of Texas, gonna live there till I die.
From Terlingua to Loco, from Ding Dong to Muleshoe, this is RVing in Texas.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Blame it on Texas, don't blame it on me.
Covering Texas like dust on a pickup truck. Welcome to RVing in Texas with Alan Warren, the RV guy. To join the conversation, call now. 1-855-296-SHOW. That's 1-855-296-7469. And now, here's Alan Warren.
All right, with a couple of great stories and several awesome guests, we're going to have some fun today, I'll promise you, here on RVing in Texas, the show that focuses on camping and RVing right here in our home state. I'm Alan Warren. We hope that you will stay with us a while. I think you're going to enjoy our variety of guests and topics because we all talk about the wonderful RV lifestyle. We got some big changes coming up now for you folks that are watching on social media, YouTube or on Facebook. Most folks on the radio will not even notice these changes, but in the next 3 weeks or so, you're going to start seeing some changes, making the show a lot more interactive with people that are watching us and listening to us live, so y'all be patient for that. All right, today we're going to check in with RV Nana at PPL Motor Homes. We're going to drop into a place, now wait for it, you know what it's called? The Museum of the Weird. Yeah, that's its name. And where do you think the Museum of the Weird is? It's not right there. It's not right in the other studio. All right, we're going to tell you all about it here in a bit. We're going to run over to Texas's oldest town. Y'all know what town that is? Well, hang on because we're going to get to all that this hour. But first, y'all buckled up, are you? Because we're heading down to Texas City. Oh, man. All right, sorry for the sudden stop, but I see our friend RV Sam is here at DeMontront RV, and RV Sam's always got some great tips and advice for RVers here in the Lone Star State. What you got for us today, RV Sam?
Hey, Alan, just wanted to go over some of the extra benefits that people don't normally think about when owning an RV. You know, you think about the vacation and enjoying it, but there's actually quite a few extra things that people are generally pretty surprised to hear about. So
well, let's go over some of them.
You know, the IRS says that anything with a bathroom, a kitchen, and a place to sleep can be used as a second home. So if you buy an RV, that's a second home for you. So any interest you pay is a tax write-off as a second home. Another thing would be if you have a business or you plan on having one, you can write off every expense associated with your RV as a mobile office. Just talk to your tax guy about it.
You know, RV
also,
Sam, hang on a second. We have more and more people that are showing up at Big Chief, our place up in the Highland Lakes area of Texas, that literally they work from their RV. And so they're able to, I've talked with them, they write off, they are able to depreciate. Of course, that's depending upon, you know, your income bracket and what you're using the RV for. But there are a lot of those tax benefits for people that have an RV.
There really are. And people are using them. They're talking more, and they're really realizing the benefits of it. So another one would be, you know, you can park it at your house, and it makes for a great guest room if you have company come over and you don't have room for them, or maybe they want to have their own privacy. Also, if there's a hurricane coming or bad weather, you can get out of town comfortably in it. And, you know, heaven forbid if your house is damaged like we were here in Hurricane Harvey, you'll have a place to stay on site while you rebuild. That's very popular down here after Harvey. Okay, another one would be if you have a job that requires you to travel. You can save on hotel fees. Not spending money on hotels can be like getting a pretty big size raise. Any money you don't spend is like.
Hang on, let me jump in there real quick, because a lot of people, again, that come up to Big Chief, they get a per diem and they stay, and they're able to literally make most of their RV payment by getting their per diem. They get to sleep in their own bed and have their own towels, their own sheets, their own food. They don't have to worry about sleeping in a strange hotel.
That's right. They're buying something instead of throwing it away at a hotel.
Yep.
A lot of people, they move from site to site, and they can't get an apartment because they'd have to enter a lease, or they'd have to break right away. So having an RV means they can say yes to great job opportunities. And you know that what they say about luck. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So if the opportunity comes around and you're prepared because you have an RV, your luck will be a lot better.
Well, I've got another idea, another way you can use your RV when you get in trouble when you get thrown in the doghouse.
That's right. Mama gets mad at you. You can get a place to go out there and hang out. Or if the boys come over and you want to go smoke a cigar or just be somewhere away from the kids, you can escape there. Makes a good man cave, makes a good woman cave. There's just a lot of opportunities. Also for the kids, too. We don't think about this, but dorm rooms are very expensive. I have had quite a few people with college-age kids come in and say they're going to get an RV to put their kids in while they're going through college, so they don't have to throw all that money away. And then when the kids are out of the house and done with college, now you have all your free income again. Now you can go off and start using that RV. So it's a great opportunity there.
Folks, his name is RV Sam. RV Sam works with DeMontrond RV, our exclusive new RV sponsor here in the entire state of Texas. And RV Sam's down in the Texas City location. Every week he joins us and gives us tips like he's given now, and really great, valuable information. And then he tempts us all by sending me a link to some really beautiful RVs that we talk about on the air, and today is no exception. Tell us about this thing.
Well, I figured I'd go with a motorhome for the first time. I've been showing trailers, but this is a different speed altogether. Now, this is a Class C diesel, so it's the one of the more affordable routes to get into a diesel. It's got the power and the towing of a diesel, but it's the price of a high-end gas motorhome. It drives like a typical high-end pickup truck. It's got luxury all the way. It sleeps 6 people, has seat belts for 7, and it's just a really, awesome way to get out there and start RVing.
Now this is it's made by Thor, and it's called a Super C. Tell everybody what a Super C is versus a C.
Okay, well, a Class C just means it has that overhead bunk, and it has either the front end of a truck or a van. That's what makes it a Class C. So this is actually maybe super. It's very large, and this has that diesel engine, so it's extremely powerful. You get a full-size pickup truck you want to pull behind you, no problem. This has all the power you would need.
In terms of a slide-out, it does have slide-outs, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. It has a full wall slide on this particular model. I've got these, and just like this one. This one's for, maybe a couple who has people over occasionally. They also make them with bunk beds if you're going to travel with a family a lot. But if you don't know for sure you're traveling with the family a lot, don't go with bunk beds. You really got to go with something like this one here.
Why is it that the Class C and these Super Cs are, they're just so popular now? It's maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like some of the larger Class A's that were really popular just a couple of years ago, now the Class Cs and the Super Cs are really starting to get some of the limelight. Why is that?
A lot of baby boomers right now looking, and they're very comfortable driving their high-end pickup trucks, especially here in Texas. Pickup trucks are very popular, as you know. So this is just like driving a high-end pickup truck, and so people are very comfortable with it. They don't have a learning curve. They're not at all intimidated by it because of the familiarity.
And most of the Class Cs, you're able to actually park in your own driveway in your neighborhood instead of having to pay $100 a month to park it on some storage lot, right?
Depending on the homeowners association and the size of your driveway, yes, sir.
How did you learn so much about RVs, RV Sam? You're a young guy, but you know so much about them. I know that you're an actual RVer. Have you spent a lot of time doing it?
I did. See, what happened to me was I spent 15 years in the Marine Corps, and in all that war fighting, I don't think I'm special. I figure if other people have a hard time adjusting to civilian life, I might too. So right when I got out, or 2 months before I got out, I went ahead and bought myself a brand new diesel motorhome, and I took the time to spend my first year traveling the U.S. And I tell you, I met some amazing people RVing out there. I studied criminal justice at university, but I did not want to be around criminals, but the people I met RVing were amazing. I put 72,000 miles on my motorhome, and I absolutely fell in love with the people and the experience.
And what better person, folks, to talk with than when you're thinking about buying an RV, than somebody that actually does it, RV Sam. And in fact, a lot of you guys over and gals at DeMontron RV, you're actual RVers.
That's right.
And that makes
That's
a huge,
right.
huge difference, because you're not just selling something, you're selling a lifestyle. You're making friends when you're doing it.
We do. We encourage our sales staff to, whenever we get the pre-owned RVs in, to take them out and take their families out and use them, and actually, just get their families involved in RV as much as possible.
All right, real quick, we only got, what do we have, about a minute left, Goose? Well, yeah, about a minute left. All right, so in terms of, I don't want to make anybody mad. Who makes the buying decision in general? Is it a 50-50 deal between the man and the woman, or does the man have what do you see there at DeMontron?
You know what? I see both, but it's pretty clear when somebody comes in a lot of times who's wearing the pants. They let you know right up front. So it's usually pretty easy to figure that one out.
Or wearing the skirt as it goes. All right.
Yeah.
RV Sam, thanks so much. We appreciate it. We're going to send everybody to DeMontron RV, or go down and see you down in Texas City. You take care, and we'll catch up next week, all right?
Thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
All right, you bet. All right, folks, that's RV Sam, DeMontron RV. You're looking for a new RV, you're not going to do any better than DeMontron, home with a warranty forever. All right, we're going to be right back with the Museum of the Museum of the Weird. Brian. What? Push the button. Are we? Oh, we don't need to do that right now. I forgot. Don't give me that look. I'm old. I forget things. You ought to see what the expression is terrible.
So, you want to turn on my mic?
Wow. You look like me right then.
You want to turn on the mic?
Yeah. All right, folks, we're in a commercial break. Go ahead. Get
So
after
for
it,
those
graphics
of y'all
girl.
that are just now tuning in for the first time, you can catch some of our previous shows on YouTube. All you need to do is search for the RV Show USA. So go ahead, and I don't know what's happening in the other room.
We're being distracted terribly by
Search for the RV Show USA, and if you like what you see, go ahead and click subscribe. But if you want to get notifications when we upload a new video, go ahead and click the little bell that'll be right next to the subscribe button. What is happening?
It's really bad. We're having somebody that's having a problem next door.
I'm really confused.
I need to turn the camera around. Hey, Goose, make it stop. Make it stop.
I can't.
All right, so as I said, we're going to get a whole lot more interactive here. Who do we have watching? We got Jose. How you doing? And how you, Tom Johnson, Adam, and
there was someone that has a shout out request.
who's that?
That is Gene. He is watching from Florida, from our Florida RV camping group.
Awesome.
And it is for Christina with her new RV plans.
And I guess Gene and Christina sounds like they're husband and wife there in Florida.
So.
Thank y'all so much for being a part of our extended family here on RVing in Texas and the RV Show USA. Now, if you are a new viewer, here's the deal. The RV Show USA is our parent company. And because I'm a native Texan and, I live right here, and so many people do RV in Texas, we started a program called RVing in Texas. So the first hour of this is we talk about cool places to go right here in the Lone Star State. Many, many people, tens of thousands of y'all come down here every winter. Some of you decide to stay here even through the hot summers. But we talk about Texas here the first half of the show.
And we have some great prizes, too.
We give away some great prizes. The second half of the show, we go to more of a national program. We do the show live here every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And then Goose takes the program, the entire deal. This should be a normal commercial break. He takes the whole show, and then he cuts it up and he puts it as a radio show, and it will be syndicated to stations across the country that will air this Saturday and Sunday. So you guys get a sneak preview. We don't do any editing. It is what it is. And even when we've got some crazy person in the other room that is making faces.
It's a good chance to, ask more questions or even bring up some cool topics that we can talk about on the show.
That crazy person says she's going to go to your room here in a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
Hang on. Oh, it's horrible. Where's that monitor? I don't see the monitor in here.
But, yeah, if y'all have any requests for shout-out.
Okay, I just want you to know, hey, Lisa, come back over here so I can see you. turn around and look up behind you on the ceiling. Oh, on the ceiling. Do you see what's up on the ceiling? Way up high, up higher, to the right.
That would
to
be
the
a
right.
camera.
That would be, yeah. There you are. The people at the network are going, there's an insane woman in the other room. All right.
Oh,
We got
gosh.
15 seconds, guys. Here we go.
That's terrible. You can kill my mic.
Thank you. RVing in Texas is brought to you in part by Campanda, the world's largest RV rental platform. To learn more about how to turn your RV into an income stream or to book a rental for your next adventure, visit campanda.com/money. Campanda.com/money. All right, folks, welcome back to the show where we travel the state of Texas in search of some very cool, interesting, and sometimes, as in this case, downright weird places to visit. We got a really weird one to tell you about today. On our guest line is Steve Boosty with, get this, Austin's Museum of the Weird. Hiya, Steve.
Hi, how's it going? Thank you for having me on the show today.
Well, you betcha. Well, so just how weird is the Museum of the Weird? Tell us about it.
Well, it's basically a kind of a throwback to the old sideshow, dime museums of like the late 1800s, and the things that P.T. Barnum kind of started back like about 200 years ago. And we mix things in with fact and fiction, but we kind of really try to explore all the mysteries of the universe, like cryptozoology, ghosts, freaks of nature and stuff like that, mummies. And we even have live sideshow performers.
What prompted you to open up the Museum of the Weird? It is so cool. We're showing some pictures here of some of your displays, I guess, that people can see up there in Austin. But what prompted you to open it up?
Well, it kind of started back in 2005. Me and my wife, Veronica, opened a gift shop at first. It was called Lucky Lizard Curios and Gifts, and it's located right in the middle of 6th Street on downtown Austin. And the concept of the store was we were going to sell, just unusual things. I didn't want it to be your typical touristy, T-shirt souvenir shop. We sell T-shirts and jewelry and stuff like that, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have like some, like a shrunken head on the shelf for sale or a Fiji mermaid or something weird, just to get people's attention. And in the beginning, the reason it was called Lucky Lizard is we had giant lizards, live lizards. I had a Nile monitor and a few iguanas, and they were on display in the back of the store in a giant terrarium. And people would just come in all off the street all day to look at the lizards, and they'd go get their friends and come back and look at the lizards, or they'd look at the Fiji mermaid or whatever. But nobody was buying that stuff. It was just too weird to buy, I guess, but they enjoyed looking at it. And we did start selling a lot of really cool, unusual stuff, and I realized I'm never going to get that stuff again. It's a one-of-a-kind. It'll be gone forever. And we had an area in the back of the gift shop that was not being used, and I was like, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun to kind of have a little roadside attraction in the back of the store? And, at the beginning I was going to call it the Freakatorium or something like that. But then I came upon, Austin's slogan is Keep Austin Weird.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there we go, Museum of the Weird. It just was a perfect match.
It just seems to me, my wife drags me to a lot of these shops, and quite frankly, most of them are kind of, they're all the same. But when I see something like Museum of the Weird, I go, now I could go and check that place out. So where are y'all located in Austin? Are you still down on 6th Street?
Yes, we are right in the center of the entertainment district on 6th Street. The address is 412 East 6th Street, and we're about 3 blocks west of I-35.
So you're right in the heart of things. So what is the most popular attraction in the Museum of the Weird, and why? What do people always go, I got to go see the whatever it is?
Well, I guess it's kind of a subjective question, because some people love the oddities. Some people love the Wax Museum, which we recently incorporated, a movie monster wax museum. And some people love to see the Creature in Ice. But I think maybe the one thing that people really love to come back over and over for is to see the live sideshow performers. Every day we have a different performer doing some amazing and crazy and just sometimes just little off-the-wall, sick kind of stuff in the back of the the museum on stage. We have like human blockheads, sword swallowers, magicians. We have mentalists that can read your mind. Real
My wife does that.
Yeah, hey, we're always hiring.
So what's your personal favorite there in the museum?
Well, my favorite is without a doubt something called the Creature in Ice. And the reason I'm just amazed by this is because this is the thing that started my whole lifelong interest in everything weird. I got to see this attraction back in like the early 1970s. I was only maybe 4 or 5 years old, and this man was traveling around the country with this thing called the Creature in Ice. Later, it became known as the Minnesota Iceman. And what it looks like is a prehistoric Neanderthal type, either a person or a Bigfoot type creature. It's covered in hair, and it's frozen in a solid block of ice. And the amazing thing that just kind of still blows me away to this day is about 8 years ago, I had a very special aunt. She was the one that took me to see it when I was a young kid, and she had just passed away. So I was kind of reminiscing about her, and all of a sudden this memory came back. Wait, when I was a kid, she took me to see this thing. It was like a Bigfoot or a caveman frozen in a block of ice. Was that real, or was it my imagination? And I did a little bit of research and found out that hundreds of thousands of people saw this thing back as far as like the mid-1960s. And then shortly after I got to see it in 1970 or 74, it went missing. And it's been missing for about 35 years. And I told my wife, it's out there somewhere. I've got to find this. I got to track it down. And so I spent about 8 years, or several years later, by the time we finally did locate it, it was 2013. We made arrangements with the owner who had it, and we purchased it and brought it back to Austin. And now, ever since then, it's been on display in the Museum of the Weird. Everyone can come in and see the Creature in Ice for themselves.
When I talk to business owners, most of the time after the first year or two, they get kind of blah, just a business. You sound so excited about what you do, Steve Boosty. You just sound like you love what you do.
I'll tell you, I tell people I have the best job in the world because I'm still a kid. I'm still a kid at heart. I guess I could live like every kid's childhood dream of opening a weird museum, and it is so much fun. I love meeting people, and we love having people come in. We get people from all over the world, and it's more exciting every year after year that we've been open. I never have lost it. I'm just so happy, and I can't tell you how much fun I'm having.
What does it cost admission-wise, and how long does it take someone to go through it and really take their time and see everything that you've got on display?
Well, the admission is $12. For little kids like under age 8, we charge $8. And it takes to really see everything and read everything in there. It could take well over an hour. Most people kind of look at the exhibit. They don't read every single thing. But I would definitely give yourself at least 45 to 50 minutes to enjoy the museum and get to see the show, as well as the wax museum. And
last question, are you working on anything new that you can tell us about? Any new secret finds that you're getting ready to unveil?
Oh, boy. Yes, we are. We're actually in the process of expanding the sideshow to have a full theater for our sideshow performers. And in addition, we're opening a kind of a comic book collectible store called Spanthor Comics and Collectibles. And it's actually a continuation of a wax museum that I had opened in 2013, 14, that we had to close. It was a wax museum and comic book store. It was located on South Congress. Unfortunately, we had to tear down it was in a castle. We had to tear it down and close it because they sold the property. But it is reopening, so we're about to open that again.
That's awesome. Steve, the music means we got to jump. Thank you for joining us very much. We're going to send everybody to go see it, the Museum of the Weird in Austin, all right? All right, you take care. That's Steve Boosty, folks. We're going to be right back with more RVing in Texas right after this. Hey, Goose.
So we've decided, Lisa and I would...
Hang on. On that, on the bump music, when it comes in, can it fade in instead of hitting? It hits really hard, and then all of a sudden the mix is no bueno.
Okay.
Please.
So Lisa and I have decided we're renaming the show the Freakatorium.
I like that. The Freakatorium. Doesn't that guy sound like he loves what he does? I mean, talk about a freak show. There's a freak show here every single Wednesday night.
That's very true.
Okay.
And he was
Okay.
talking about the sideshow acts live every night. I just wonder if he's actually, screening this show on Wednesday nights.
Who says this? There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people making comments. What you got, Miss Katie?
I'm
So that you can read.
I had to refresh, so I don't have a lot of the feed on the comments.
Okay.
But I see RV Nana is watching.
There she is. We got RV Nana coming up. That
She says
Museum
it's
of the
hot
Weird.
there in Sugarland.
Yeah, hot and sticky, as it almost always is this time of year in Houston, Texas. But anyway, that was pretty cool, don't you think? Museum of the Weird in Austin, Texas. And let's see, we've got RV Nana coming up, and what else? Oh, then we're going to go over to Texas's oldest city, and I'm going to talk about fried green tomatoes. Actually, I'm going to talk about something else, but
Anybody have any shout-outs for
Yeah.
anybody?
I have a shout out for you.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Alan Warren,
Yes.
say hello to Miss Diana LeBlanc.
Hi, RV Nana. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you?
We're doing great. Listen, we are in a break right now, and so we've got like 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes, but we can just kind of off the record, just kind of visit a little bit here. We got our people on Facebook that are watching, enjoying the show. So have you had a good week so far at PPL?
Oh, it's been a wonderful week. It's been really good, and it's hot here in Houston now. Oh, my gosh.
Well, like I said, it's always hot this time of year, hot and sticky and humid, huh?
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah.
My gosh, I can hear your commercials so loud.
You can hear the commercials now?
I can hear the commercial on here. Yeah, here. It went away.
That's because
we
Brian
go.
just said, okay. Wrong button there,
Oh,
Brian.
my gosh, I know you're there, Alan.
No, it was
but
the right
I feel
button.
like
It's
I'm
just I'm not
yelling.
used to doing this piece, so there was a button that I missed.
Yes. So Diana, we've got. I know we're going to come back from break here in about a minute and 15 seconds or so, but we got some really cool stuff that we're working on with the show in terms of being more interactive with our listeners and our viewers, and it's going to be really good. And I just want to. I don't want to sound too mushy on the air, but I appreciate you, and we as a team appreciate your friendship and your belief and support in the RV Show USA and RVing in Texas more than we can say.
Oh, guys, I love everything about the show, and of course, I'm a Texas girl, so I love everything about Texas too. And what a great friendship we've had.
Yeah, it's a real nice relationship, that's for sure. And I know we're going to talk about a couple of RVs here in just
There are a couple over there at PPL that I want my father to go and purchase because they are amazing.
Oh, my gosh, there are quite a few over here at PPL that are amazing. And, yes, you need to come on over here. You need to come next time they come to Houston.
I want to. I need to.
Yeah, we're not going to. We've got only, like I said, probably 20 seconds to go. But we sure had a fun weekend with you the other night. It was a lot of fun.
We can flamingo again anytime.
That's right. All right, we're gonna bring your audio down a little bit. Just hang on because we're gonna come back with the music, do a rejoin, folks. If you want to say hi to RV Nana like you did, Steve Giano, just send us a note. And anyway, hold on, RV Nana. Be right back. All right, you pushed that right button now, right?
That was awesome.
All right, we're joined again right now by our friend Deanna LeBlanc from the nation's largest consignment RV dealer, PPL Motor Homes. With 3 Texas locations, they sell thousands of used RVs every year. And Diana, I guess that y'all are still on track to bust the multi-thousands of used RVs this year too?
I think we'll hit about 3,000 this year, and that is just amazing. A long way from what it was when I started back in 1980.
Heck yeah. Well, I have been to so many RV dealers. A lot of them are saying pretty much the same thing. Some salesperson, people go to an RV dealer, and most salespeople, as soon as you pull up, they feel, the customer feels like they've been attacked, if you will. But that doesn't happen at PPL. You've got a complete different buying experience. And real quickly, before we jump into a couple of units, tell everybody what happens when they show up at PPL to look at RVs.
Oh, my gosh, if you showed up today, it was BYOS Day. That's when you bring your own fork because we're celebrating birthdays there, and everybody gets to join us. And it's just a fun thing. But you come in, we have a hassle-free shopping experience. I don't have commissioned salespeople. They're incentivized, but they are not commissioned. And they're a great team. They just want to help you find the RVs you want to look for. But you get to wander through at your leisure and look around. Prices are posted, everything about it right there.
Yeah,
It's like going
there's
to an RV show.
no
For you,
pressure, no rush. You can take your time, like she said. All right, let's jump real quick into this first RV that we got the link on. This classic Airstream that is just gorgeous. Tell us about it, Deanna.
Oh, my gosh, this is a beauty. It's a 2005, and I went in it today, and I could not believe how pristine it is. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the classics, an Airstream is something that it's just going to be around for years and years and years to come. You know, I've talked before in the year that I've got a couple of 80s, 83 and 93 there. Don't have a lot of classics, but this one's beautiful. It really is.
And it even has a slide out. A lot of people don't realize that some Airstreams, the really, really good ones, have got a slide out, and this one has one.
You know, I can't recall what year they started that, but that is a big thing because forever Airstream did not have slides, and this is a really nice thing.
You know, folks,
That's what
while
Reagan would do.
all RVs, you know, that they're not an investment that you make money on, not like a piece of real estate. But if you're going to get an RV that's going to hold its value as much as one possibly can, these classic Airstreams are, I mean, they're about as good as they get. Don't you think, Deanna?
Oh, they really are. They're heavy. They're well constructed. They're just sound. You just feel really good when you get in there.
Yeah, they're solid. All right, we've got this beautiful Airstream. Tell us about the, you've got a Heartland fifth wheel that looks like it's a steal of a price. I mean, 43 foot long. It sounds like a really good deal.
This one is a very, very nice. It's a great RV for the family, for the person who's hauling their toys. It's got a good-sized cargo area, but it's got the queen-size bed back there, big living area with big island kitchen. If you don't know it's a toy hauler when you first walk in, you wouldn't feel like it was. I mean, it's just got a nice living area to it.
It's very, very roomy, and it's in extremely good condition, folks. And it's priced at $35,000. That to me, I don't know. To me, for all this, it sounds like it's a really good deal.
It does to me too. It's really nice, and like I said, if you want to haul your toys with you, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, because it's got, I think, it's like a 12-foot, as they call them, garage in the back of it. So it's fabulous. You know, folks, even if you don't buy an RV from PPL, you're probably going to end up going there anywhere you're going to want to go because they have got an accessory and parts superstore that is second to none. Tell everybody about that for a minute, Deanna.
We have a huge, it's called PPL's RV Parts Superstore. The main location is in Houston. We have a parts superstore also at our Cleveland location. New Braunfels is little. They don't have a parts store there. But you can find all of the gadgets and items you want, but you can also find the parts you're looking for. If they're out there, we can usually find them for you.
Yeah, and all kinds of neat things that you won't find anyplace else. PPL generally has them. You know, I've got a note here to ask you, but we don't have much time. So what we're going to do, I want to touch on it, then I want to hold you through the break so you can talk with our Facebook Live viewers and listeners about it. But tell us a little bit about the state parks. And you were telling me a story the other day about the CCC parks I found very interesting.
Oh, my gosh. When we started RVing years and years ago, our first RV park we went to was a state park, the Lockhart State Park, and it was built in the 30s by the Civilian Conservation Corps Company. That was part of the FDR New Deal program, and they put people to work, as was amounted to. And there are several parks here in Texas. I think there's 28 altogether in Texas that were built in, and these structures are still sound, and it's just amazing. And Lockhart's the only state park with a golf course on it.
And they're CCC parks, folks. They're not COE, Corps of Engineer parks. All right, Deanna, thank you so much. Hang on. We're going to visit a little bit during the break. Folks, if you want to get a hold of Deanna or her team, go to PPLMotorhomes.com. PPLMotorhomes.com. Nobody's going to take better care of you. You want to sell your RV, buy a used RV, go see PPL. We'll be right back after this. Y'all hang on. All right, we good?
Oh, I'm good.
All right, there you go. So Lockhart is you were telling me that the Lockhart State Park is the only state park in Texas with a golf course.
It is. I used to always think Bastrop was the only one, Bastrop State Park. But Bastrop State Park was, the golf course was independently owned. It wasn't managed by the state park. And the little 9-hole course at Lockhart is just sweet. And the way that the sites are positioned around it, it's really nice. Yeah, you may get a golf ball in your window, but yeah.
Hey, Lockhart's a pretty nice place to go and visit, I'm telling you.
Oh, and great barbecue in that area. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you again for being on with us tonight. Thanks for everything. And I guess we're going to miss you on our next show, but we're going to have Scott Garlington on to tell us what's going on, and we'll catch up with you again soon, okay?
That's great. Got you in good hands with Scott. Y'all have a wonderful week.
All right. Thank you, Deanna, so much. All right, folks, that is Deanna LeBlanc at PPL Motor Homes. We just love her and her team there at PPL. Like I said during the show, if you want to sell your RV in a hurry, have somebody that will treat you right and be fair and get you the most amount of money for it in the shortest amount of time, check out PPL Motor Homes. I don't know anybody that can do it any better than they do. Then if you want to buy a used RV, they have got tons and tons of inventory, that's for sure, like that Airstream in the Heartland we were just talking about. So, all right, coming up next, we're going to visit Texas's oldest town. What do we got, Miss Katie?
Can Lisa go in with you? She's
Wow.
scaring me. I'm not even playing. She's scaring me in here.
Lisa.
Did she eat dinner tonight?
Wow.
She's hangry.
She's hangry?
She's
Is that what you call it, hangry?
Yeah.
That's
Good
what
Lord.
I get is hangry.
I think she's turning into a gremlin. Did you
All right,
feed
you know
her
what?
past
No, we
midnight?
got better after midnight.
Well, then that makes sense.
All right, so we got Kelly on the line. We're going to bring up Kelly here in just a minute. How y'all doing? Any first-time viewers? There's Jerry and Jeannie Cadre. We're going to have them on in a couple of weeks. Recent full-time RVers who I think they've got quite a story to tell, and they're going to be on here in a couple of weeks to kind of share how they got in the RV world in terms of becoming full-timers. Let's see. You got to stop laughing there, kiddo.
No, that wasn't a laugh. That was a yawn.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, yeah. Keep Austin weird, Steve. Isn't that the truth?
I love Austin. I love the food. I love the people.
I think we may have to go up and see the Iceman. What do you call
I
it?
want to go there.
He called it something.
Gosh, I
What do
can't
my notes
remember.
say? Creature in ice. So,
Steve
I think-
Giano says, "What's going on in that studio?"
oh, it's bad,
You
Steve.
don't wanna know,
Trust
Steve.
me, it's bad. Is it bad there? Goose, yes?
Is she
Okay.
scaring
You have no idea.
Goose?
You have no idea.
No,
Goose,
you have
that's
no
right.
idea.
You only get it
That
for a little
is-
while.
But that's
true.
That's why you don't feed her past midnight.
I need a pay raise. I need hazard pay for this span.
The Airstream, you know what? I closed it. It's not a steal, but it's a deal. I don't even know. I really don't.
RV Nana's got it.
There it is. 50. You know what? I'll bet you RV Nana will even put a link up to it.
I am
or
sure
somebody
she
will. How many new people do we have watching? If you haven't heard yet, now, when do we come back? 44th?
I
we
love
got
that Airstream,
Oh, we're
by the
coming
way.
back right away. So
Can we get that Airstream?
no.
Every time.
No, the answer is no. All right, coming back in 10 seconds, guys. Y'all hang on. All right, we're heading to Texas's oldest town right now. We're pulling into Nacogdoches over in East Texas, where the place is going to be buzzing with folks from all over who are going to be attending the 29th annual Blueberry Festival. Isn't that right, Kelly?
Hey, it sure is, and we're ready for them.
All right, folks. Kelly works for the Nacogdoches Chamber of Commerce, and even though the event is still just a few weeks away, I guess things are really busy for y'all right now, huh?
We are preparing for the tastiest festival in Texas right now, and it does take the whole community, so we're ready for a really good time.
Tell everybody where Nacogdoches is, Kelly, and what is the Blueberry Festival all about, please?
Well, you're right. We are in East Texas. We're in a beautiful part of the piney woods. We have lakes, rivers, streams, and just beautiful setting here. We're a little bit south of Tyler, Texas, north of Houston, but we're close enough to get to some fun places and have the charm of the Emerald Forest of East Texas, too.
Right here on our social media, we're looking at on Facebook Live. We're playing, I guess, your promotional video. It looks so much fun. This is footage, I imagine, from last year. It's got old classic cars and people eating everything, I guess, all things blueberry, huh?
Pretty much. The Texas Blueberry Festival does celebrate that little blue super fruit. And I would like to start by just kind of explaining why we picked that.
Okay.
The community leaders back in the 80s decided that we needed to show off some good things in Nacogdoches. And, of course, we're big into agriculture here. You know, there's a lot of things you can grow in our ground. And a lot of people didn't realize that blueberries were one of those things that we can produce, and we do produce still. So they wanted to showcase that little bit of information, plus show off our beautiful and charming downtown area with brick streets and local merchants. And then to top it off, they wanted to make it a family-friendly event, no admission.
Wow.
Just come on down, block off the streets, and have a festival.
What kinds of things are there for visitors to do there?
Well, at the festival itself, we kind of have a wide variety of activities. And I would like to start with the focus on our blueberry, because we will have flats of blueberries for sale. Texas-grown blueberries are brought in. They're kept in a refrigerated truck, and they're there for sale. You can actually buy your blueberries and then come back for them later, so you don't have to haul them around the festival. Or if you'd like, you could actually take a free shuttle ride out to one of our local farms and pick your own sweet, delicious blueberries.
Is this the
right
good
off
time
the
of
bush.
year to pick blueberries in Texas?
Well, that's why we have it in June.
I guess that's a yes, huh?
It is the prime growing time for that particular fruit. And trust me, we have joked around town, why don't we have the frozen blueberry festival maybe in March or April when it's a little cooler.
Yeah.
But, but we do a lot of good things to keep people comfortable. But like I said, taking that shuttle ride out there and actually seeing a blueberry farm and picking your own, you've never tasted a better blueberry until you picked it right off the bush.
Oh, it sounds delicious. So what are the dates of the Blueberry Festival?
It's going to be June 9th. It'll always be on the second Saturday of June. And the festival itself runs from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., again, in downtown Nacogdoches. And I would like to also mention there are some things going on off-site. This year we're going to feature a Blueberry Festival of Quilts, which is a quilt show with some amazing works of art that our local Quilters Guild have created. That's actually in another area of town. But that'll be going on Friday and Saturday. Also on Friday, we'll have a Blueberry Bluegrass concert in the park. And bluegrass music is really becoming popular here in our area. Of course, I know it is all over our nation, but we're, racking up some more talent here in Nacogdoches, and we plan to have our local pickers both there at the Friday night concert and at the festival, too, with a new event we have this year, Picking on the Square.
Kelly, I think that there is no place in Texas that has any friendlier people than y'all have there in Nacogdoches. I really mean that. When I go fishing and go from San Antonio over to Toledo Bend, I pass through Nacogdoches, and everywhere I stop, people are smiling and friendly. It's like you've known them for years.
Well, I think it just has to come from the energy that our town has, and, I like to hear that, and we do hear that from our visitors. And I love the fact that you brought up the fishing and the angler and the sportsman side of that, because we offer that as well. In fact, so many of our businesses and local organizations have kind of latched on to this blueberry theme. Mm-hmm. We have a fishing guide that's going to offer, again, family-friendly excursions on both of our lakes, Lake Nacogdoches and Lake Nacogdoches, throughout the month of June. If you would like to schedule that while you're visiting Nacogdoches for the festival, you can get out and see some nature, too.
Yeah, it's a fun place to visit, and I'll tell you one of my favorite places is Butcher Boys there. They've got the best fried green tomatoes I believe I've ever tasted, Kelly.
Well, I think I have other restaurants that would put up their fried green tomatoes.
Really?
You know, it's wonderful the choices we have here with our local restaurants. And Butcher Boys has the best reputation. You can even just walk in there because it is a butcher shop.
Yeah.
You could actually have them, cut your meat right there and take your steaks with you for your barbecue later. So, there's a lot of places both in our city and our county that can kind of satisfy those cravings, whatever they might be.
Well, how do people get more information, Kelly, on the Blueberry Festival?
We want you to go to TexasBlueberryFestival.com. That's easy enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
We certainly want you to look at the different activities there. I mentioned a few things that will be going on. You mentioned the car show, and of course that's all day, available all day. There are some things that have specific times, and this I just have to bring up. It's our pet parade. It is so cute. A lot of folks are there with their dogs, parading around town anyway. In fact, some of them participate in the running of the Blueberries 5K with their pets. But at 10 a.m., we have a pet parade down Main Street, down the brick streets, into Festival Park. And you'll see the cutest little doggies there. But we've even seen things like goats that are dyed blue or bunny rabbits and little strollers. Some folks get very creative with their pets and their costumes, and it is a parade like you've never seen before.
I got to tell you, there's nothing like a small-town festival, and it sounds like you guys in Nacogdoches have got a good one coming up. So thank you again. We're going to send everybody to TexasBlueberryFestival.com, all right?
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks so much. All right, folks, one more quick break. I'll be right back. Hang on. Now, that was a little bit... Are you getting the buttons? Kind of, you're not looking happy there. Is it because her? You can say it. You can say.
No, you see that she has a projectile in her hand.
Yeah, I know, but she never lets go of that. I call it her gun. It's her phone.
Well,
Come on,
if
baby.
it's her gun, it probably has bullets in it. I don't want bullets flying at me, for Pete's sake.
Do what? Oh, okay. All right, Miss Katie. That Blueberry Festival sounded fun.
It's time for y'all to show us some love, as I say. Show us some love by liking our video, sharing it, and posting some comments. So what do we do?
I don't know. What do we do?
What do they do?
They show us some love is what they do. All right, I'm going to tell y'all a little story here, tell you a funny story, and it's a story aimed at people that might want to get into RVing, but they might be a little bit intimidated. What, do you like it? You like the story?
Yeah. Is it the one that you told me the other
It
day?
is.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cute.
That was cute.
Y'all, yeah, make sure you like this video and hit the share button if you would, please. And remember, we've got the RV Show USA is coming on right after this. We've got Dr. Deanna, the RV pet vet, followed by my beautiful bride, the Bride of Frankenstein will be in here.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm the Frankenstein. She's she's going to be in here in just a little bit. We're going to be talking about Alaska and our trip last summer to Alaska. If you've never been RVing in Alaska, if you haven't been to Alaska, you've probably been dreaming about it. And we've got some highlights we're going to be talking about. But then we've got our friends Gary and Stacy from Powell Hannah Travels. They'll be joining us. And these guys have like 80 different videos on their YouTube channel
Can I
about.
ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Why didn't y'all take me to Alaska?
Well, somebody had to be.
You had school.
Yeah, you had school, and somebody
Yeah.
had to stay there and take care of the dogs. All right, does anybody want us to do a shout-out to anybody? If you do, just post it. Adam, are you new? I think you're new. All right, so...
I see a comment from one of our group pages. Jeanette wants to say hello to Adam.
Oh, all right.
So
Adam, Jeanette says howdy. Where's Jeanette from?
She is from...
Let us know what group
Arizona.
page you're watching. Arizona. All right. We got 20 more seconds. This is the short bregment. It's a short
Are
bregment.
you having a stroke in there?
Oh, my gosh.
My tongue is just kind of...
I think my mother did a lot of distracting.
All right.
She did. All right, 5 seconds to go, guys. Hopefully we can get through this last segment.
You mean Bregment?
Calm. All right, in this last segment of the show each week, I try and leave y'all with some comments or final thoughts or maybe a call to action about something that we have talked about. But today I want to talk with you about fear. Yeah, fear and RVs. It reminds me of a story of this sea captain. He sees a pirate ship heading straight towards him, loaded with pirates, and he knew what was about to happen. So he yells at his first mate. He knows they're going to do battle. He goes, "Bring me my red shirt." So the guy brings him his red shirt. He puts it on. The battle ensues. It's a terrific battle, but the captain and his crew, they survive. They beat the pirates barely, and it's nighttime. And one of the crew says, "Captain, what was it about the red shirt?" And he said, "I didn't want you to stop fighting. I wanted to wear the red shirt in case I was bleeding. I wanted to keep the blood hidden so you will fight." And so, wow, that was great. What a smart move. So the next morning, the captain gets up. He goes up on the what do they call it, the poop deck. He looks outside, and there's 10 pirate ships that are heading towards him. He's never seen more pirates in his life. And he yells out to his first mate, "Hey, bring me my brown pants." You get that? All right. You know, sometimes an RV can be like looking out at those 10 pirate ships, and you may feel like the captain and a little bit overwhelmed. But you don't have to be. You know, today's RVs are more complex than they were 20 years ago, but they're nothing to grab your brown pants about. It's an estimated that 80% of any problem you encounter with your RV, well, you can fix it yourself. You really can with the help of Google and YouTube. You have endless opportunities, I guess, resources to fix your own RV. Now, for the newbie RVer, or those who would like to become an RVer, looking at RVs and seeing all those electronics and slide outs and satellite antennas and black tanks and gray water tanks and can be kind of like looking at 10 pirate ships. But it's not nearly as scary as you may imagine. RVing, you know, it isn't a thing like going to a baseball game that's over in a few hours. It's a process. It's an experience. It's a long, wonderful, sometimes stressful, but for nearly everybody who does it, RVing becomes this lifelong passion and an opportunity to escape reality, to chill and unwind and connect with your family a little bit differently than you do in your normal day-to-day life. So keep in mind that RVing is an experience and it is not a race. And no matter how much or how little you may know about RVing, you'll likely never stop learning. Something else for you newbies, you need to know that most RVers, well, they are super helpful. They really are. And once upon a time, they were feeling a little bit overwhelmed as well. So no need to have your first mate bring you your red shirt or your brown pants. Just take it slow and easy, all right? Enjoy the experience, even the occasional not so fun parts of it, because the good far outweighs the bad. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for being with us. We are most grateful. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook and join our live watch parties. Until next week, I'm Alan Warren, reminding everybody that the way we RVers spell love, well, we spell it T-I-M-E, and we spend that time with family and friends enjoying the wonderful RV lifestyle. All right, Goose, let's get us out of here.
RVing in Texas is a presentation of the RV Show USA.
Well, you asked me what I like about Texas. It's a big timber round Nacogdoches. Driving El Camino Real.
All right, I know. I just learned speaking the other day. I can't talk
It's okay.
tonight.
You know, you take it word by word.
Word by word.
So
All
I
right.
heard
Red
what you
leather,
called Lisa
yellow leather.
Earlier.
What?
I heard what you called Lisa earlier.
The bride of me.
Didn't you say the Bride of Frankenstein?
You know what? I'm not gonna,
I know. You know what? Miss Katie, you need to talk.
I called
I'll
her a
be-
gremlin.
I'll be right back.
I mean, now I'm in charge.
You're in charge.
Oh, boy.
Tell everybody what we got. 6 minutes of a pre-show show.
We got 6 minutes of a pre-show show, as my father just stated. And thank you, Steve Giano. He says it was a great show. We've got Sherry. Sherry, are you new to the show? I'm usually watching the comments. I have not seen you in there. But if you are, welcome. We've got some great stuff coming up in the RV Show USA. Let me go ahead and take this logo off. We're going to switch to our shield right here. So what did you guys think of the Museum of the Weird? Is it somewhere y'all would want to go? Yes, I am now the RV guy. He quit the show. He can't talk anymore, so
untangle my tongue.
he
Okay, he's back. He is back.
do you know how to talk again?
I'm going to try. Okay, so we have Dr. Deanna. She's
During
coming up.
this
She's with
Bregman.
the what?
During this Bregman.
Yeah, during this Bregman. The next during the segment. I'm going to try to get my tongue working right. Got so much stuff going on that. Thank you, Diana. And let's see. If you want to do a shout out, you want us to do a shout out to anybody, go ahead and post it here. If you have a question or a
good
comment,
time to do it.
if you're brand new, if you've never watched this show before, send up a smoke signal so we can recognize you. We appreciate it. This is the beginning of the RV Show USA, which is a nationally syndicated radio program. We broadcast it on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays across the country. We produce it every Wednesday night. It's the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
And we stream it across social media. We have a lot of people that, they kind of like it. We have a lot of fun. I'm not an expert at anything except interrupting people and talking a lot.
Maybe that's where I get it from.
Don't you say anything. So, yeah. And the graphics girl behind me is my daughter, Miss Katie, and she's the one that puts up the things on the screen. Go ahead and put up something on the screen. Y'all want to call us?
I'm going to put up the number.
You want to call us? You want to say hey? You can call and say hey.
But just say hey. That's it. That's it.
Hey, goodbye.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
There's Tim. You know, Tim, I'd like to get together with you and Jody before y'all roll. I know you're leaving San Antonio soon, but I would like to get together with you guys if we could have coffee or something. It was a pleasure meeting y'all when you drove all the way from San Antonio over to Houston and saw me at the DeMontron booth back there in, what was it, January, February?
March?
Nope. I think it was February for the Houston RV show.
Well, I mean, you were just going in order of the months, so.
I'm going to hit them. January,
April, May, June, July.
Hey, Land Shark. There's David Moore.
I
ain't new neither, Brian Russell.
Yeah, the RV guy's not new to the show.
RV Chickadee.
You haven't seen her on there?
No, I haven't.
She's been on here.
How's Kelly doing? You know, we love your little Chihuahua pictures. Gizmo is just the cutest. Miss Katie said yes. She goes, oh, look at this picture of Gizmo. Already seen it.
You got to be careful, though, because if I ever met Gizmo.
You may have to repossess it, steal him.
I may have to take Gizmo. I may just have to do that.
I mean, I'm reading some of these
precious,
comments.
Though.
Yeah. All right. Flamingo.
Hello, Mr. Moore.
Clark Chandler. How's Clark doing? Haven't talked to him in a while. So welcome, everybody. We're in the pre-show show. We started at exactly 6 minutes after the hour. Don't say it. I just killed her microphone. She's just going to make fun of me. And we've got Dr. Deanna coming on from RVtravel.com. She's the RV pet vet. Very nice, very smart lady. If you got a pet question, pose it, and I'll try to run it past her. In fact, you know what? We had one.
Some cute graphics for that.
Do you?
Yeah, but nobody can hear me saying that.
Oh. Now they can. What do you expect, honey? Okay, somebody had posted a question for Dr. Deanna. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, I can take a look for it.
That's all right. That's okay. I'll find it soon. I hope. We've got about a minute.
I would love that. Going fishing at Lake Somerville again with Mr. David Moore.
All right. So we have a question about, I'm going to throw this at Dr. Deanna, right at the beginning. It's about a little Yorkie. If you got a question that you'd like us to run past Dr. Deanna about a pet, your pups, fire away.
Oh my gosh, what she said about Poyo was spot on.
Oh.
And she didn't even see him.
No, but you know what? she's obviously been around the block. She knows her stuff. She's a retired veterinarian, and she knows what she's talking about.
But I gotta
1
say,
minute to go.
everybody that we've had on the show from RV Travel has been incredible. I mean,
Yeah, they're very, very smart, talented writers and knowledgeable people. If you've not yet subscribed, go to rvtravel.com. As I say, the price is right. It's
You're gonna
absolutely
want
free.
to.
Every Saturday, Chuck Woodbury comes out with a new edition of the newsletter, kind of like a magazine. I promise you, you'll be addicted to it.
Put their logo on
Lots
the
of great
corner.
information. Lots and lots of great info. rvtravel.com. Coming up in 20 seconds, guys and gals, so y'all hang on.
you want to kill my mic?
I do.
10 seconds.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America. Let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this great land. So buckle up now. What do you say? The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
It's time for the RV Show USA with Alan Warren, the RV guy, and America's only radio show about the RV lifestyle. If you enjoy travel, fun, and adventure, well, welcome aboard, everybody.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
And hello, everybody. Alan Warren here, and what a week it's been. We are excited about some of the production changes that are going to be taking shape in the near future. For our radio listeners, you may not even notice any of these changes, but big changes are a-coming for y'all who catch our live stream on social media, so stay tuned for that. Now, a couple of months ago, we introduced our listeners to the RV Pet Vet, a retired veterinarian that's also a full-time RVer and a staff writer for RVtravel.com, and we just love her. And with so many people taking their dogs with them on camping trips, and with so many packed campgrounds, we thought we'd get her back on to visit. So let's bring up Dr. Deanna. How's the RV pet doing, and where are you? Not the RV pet, the RV pet vet.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Elkhart, Indiana, which is kind of the mothership for RVs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just about everything is made here at the R Village Rally.
And that's taking place over the next several days. So, you know, Dr. Deanna, as a retired veterinarian, when you're having your morning coffee and you're sitting there, you're just people watching, in particular, people that have their dogs, you're walking their dogs, what kind of thoughts are going through your mind when are you shaking your head? Are you a little bit of, no, seriously, what does Dr. Deanna see from your perspective when people are walking their dogs?
I think that is such a great question, and lots of things come to mind. One of the first things I probably think about is I see a lot of people walking with a retractable leash, and I have no strong statistics to back it up, but I would guess probably 70% or so of people I see walking their dogs use a retractable leash. And I am not a proponent of those things for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is because you don't really have good control of your dog when it's on a retractable leash.
And you've got to be able to have control, instant control, not 5 seconds of lag time, because in three or 4 or 5 seconds, a lot can happen with a dog, and you've got to have control with them right now.
That's exactly right. In fact, I wrote one of my columns was about this just a few weeks ago on RV Travel. So you can be walking your dog on a retractable leash, and the problem with them is that then a couple of things. You can let the leash out up to 15, sometimes 20 feet. That's one thing. And then the second thing is that some of these leashes are still made from this very, very thin kind of cord. Some of the newer ones now are made from a flat nylon kind of a braid cord, which is much better because that really thin little cord can get wrapped around your legs, wrapped around your fingers. I know a lot of people, including myself, have had some injuries from those really thin little cords. Because here's the situation. Let's say you're out walking your 40, 50-pound dog on a retractable leash with a thin cord. You've got it let out 15, 20 feet. And then kind of out of nowhere, here comes another dog that's not particularly liking the looks of your dog, and he runs at your dog. So you might not see that in time to kind of reel your dog in. So the inclination then is that you grab that cord. Well, then your dog is running maybe behind you, around your legs. I mean, they're dangerous. A lot of people and dogs have been injured by those things. So
Gotcha.
I don't like those retractable leashes at all.
I want to ask you about fleas. I guess start out today asking you about fleas, because about this time of year it seems that down here in Texas we're seeing more and more fleas. And when we take our pets to a campground, aren't fleas, I don't know if the word's contagious or transmittable towards other dogs? Why are fleas such a bad thing anyway? I know they itch and they're ugly and all that kind of stuff, but let's talk about that.
Well, they can carry some diseases, actually, and they can carry tapeworm. So if your dog gets bit by the flea that has had an association with a tapeworm, then your dog can get fleas from that, or can get tapeworm from that flea. So fleas are they're probably one of the number one problems that veterinarians see, because people sometimes have a hard time controlling the fleas on their dog and in their homes and in their RVs, because they don't understand the life cycle of the flea. And once you know that, you can see why you have to do more than just treat the dog. So if your dog is itching, you see fleas, you think, okay, I'll go get something to take care of these fleas, and you treat the dog. Those things that you treat the dog with just kill the adult fleas. But they've laid eggs in the carpet and the furniture, the dog bedding. And so in a few days, little baby fleas are going to be coming out, and then you're back to square one. So you have the big key to controlling fleas is this: you have to treat the dog and you have to treat the environment, both.
But what about in a campground, Dr. Deanna? You know, you've got some people, we think our dogs are pretty clean. We check them for fleas all the time. But if someone else is not quite as careful, those fleas jump off the dog. They're in the grass, and our dogs can pick them up. And what do you do? I mean...
Yeah. You know, we're kind of lucky that we are in this time and day and age as far as flea control is concerned, because there are products out there now that are so effective and so safe for the pets, and a lot of them will kill all the fleas on your dog within sometimes 30 minutes, at least up to usually not more than an hour. So as long as your dog doesn't bring the flea, if your dog comes in contact with a dog with fleas and you're aware of it fairly quickly, and you treat your dog, and maybe they'll get lucky and they won't have had a chance to lay eggs in your house or your RV.
But what time of year, because is it just me, or is springtime and early summer a time when they just sort of flourish? They like this time of year.
Yeah, they do. They like warm weather, and they can lay dormant actually in cooler weather and over winter sometimes for weeks and weeks and months. And then when they feel like the conditions are right, the weather, the temperature, and the humidity, here they come.
So how do you clean your house, your RV? I guess you if your pet has got fleas, I guess you've got to vacuum, you've got to wash everything down. What do you do, and how often do you do it?
Here's my recommended flea treatment. I'll try to keep it quick. This is going to take 2 days. So on the first day, you treat your pet, whether it's a cat or a dog. So you give your cat or your dog one of those products. They're either oral or sometimes they're topical, but I'm talking not a flea collar, not a flea dip, not flea powder. One of the oral or the topical medications for fleas. It will kill the fleas on your dog or your cat within just a few hours. Okay. Day 2, the next day, 24 hours later, you're going to set off one of those flea bombs, for lack of a better word, in your RV. And just one, because usually each can will treat way, way, way more of a bigger area than the size of even the biggest RV. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that day, you're going to set off the flea bomb. You're going to take all the pets out of the house, and as soon as you set off the flea bomb and you step outside, you're going to give all the pets that were in the RV another flea killer medication. The one I'm most familiar with is called a Capstar, and it's a little tiny pill, and you give that to them, and if they have any fleas left on them, they will die within 30, 45 minutes.
Is it a prescription or is it over the counter?
No, it's not. No, you probably have to get it at a vet clinic, but it's not a prescription. So anybody can go in there and get it.
What about ticks? And we've only got a little over a minute till we got to hit the break, but what about ticks? Because they're awful scary.
They are scary because they carry some diseases that even in dogs, but especially in people, can be just debilitating. And so your dog or your cat could bring them in, and they could drop off and, bite you. It's really important to do as much tick prevention as you can to prevent putting yourself at risk for getting some of those diseases. And again, there's some very, very good but safer products out there for dogs and cats for tick prevention.
And you've written about this on RVtravel.com. I know you have because I've read it.
Well, yeah. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, it was in the last issue.
Right,
yeah.
right. All right, listen,
Yep.
we're going to jump for a break. I want you to hang on through the break because we're going to be talking with some of our online listeners that are listening on social media. We're going to pick it up on the other side. Folks, we've got Dr. Deanna. She is the RV pet vet with RVtravel.com. We're going to ask her all kinds of other pet questions, and we're going to get to some of our listener questions during the break. So y'all stick around. This is the RV Show USA. All right. She's good. She's really good. Okay, Dr. Deanna, you still there? Dr. Deanna, can you hear me? All right. Are you there, Dr. Deanna? I can't hear her. Goose.
I hear something.
That's me, your father. He's sitting right here. Dr. Deanna, do we have you? I don't hear her.
She may just hear the commercials right now.
Yeah, maybe she's just hearing the commercials.
She's not hearing the commercials. She's hearing you. Oh, all right. Now go for it.
Okay, Dr. Deanna, you there?
Yep.
All right, good. All right, we're in a commercial break. This is one of the things we're going to start doing in the future when we figure out which buttons to push here. But as we do we're required to hit these breaks because of the radio show, the network spots. But during the commercial breaks, we're going to keep the conversation going with some, just between me and you, for example. And we've got an email. I wanted to just jump in. I'm not sure how to answer it, but Danny wants to know about pet anxiety. He has a 2-year-old Yorkie that's calm as long as she's at home, but the minute she's in an unfamiliar place, he says even in the camper in their yard, she gets nervous and wants him to hold her all the time, shakes, whines, blah, blah, blah. Wants to know what he needs to do.
Oh, boy. Okay, first of all, this is not an easy problem to fix. I think a lot of people wish that there was a little pill they could give their dog to calm it down for traveling and that kind of thing, but it's honestly never as easy as that. Sometimes it takes weeks and weeks and weeks of what we call behavioral modification to get the dog used to these new situations, and that he needs to really talk to his veterinarian about what kind of medications that he might be able to use, but he's going to have to also use some behavioral modification techniques, and hopefully his veterinarian will be able to talk to him about that, and if he feels that veterinarian feels like he or she doesn't know too much about that, then they could put him in touch with a veterinary behaviorist, probably at one of the universities.
What about we've got another minute or so, and then we're gonna bring the audio down. What about dogs, especially female dogs, that when you bend over to pick them up, they puddle, they pee? Can that ever be stopped, prevented? What can be done once you have a dog that does that?
Yeah, boy, you're asking some tough questions.
I'm sorry.
Because that's another an anxiety issue, and it's kind of its flight or fight response, and it would take a concerted effort from everyone who has contact with that dog to try to change her behavior so that doesn't happen. And it's just going to be a lot of reassurance. Everybody pick her up the same way, keep calm. Again, kind of a veterinary behaviorist issue.
Yeah, because I know that each one of our dogs we don't have that problem. We have male dogs, and they seem pretty well adjusted, but we've got, they kind of have some neurotic tendencies. One of them's a licker. He just licks and licks and licks and licks all the time. And the other one is a constant yawner. I don't know why he yawns all the time, but anyway, that's behavioral stuff. Hang on, we're going to bring the audio down, and we're going to start back up in this next segment. Folks, we've got Dr. Deanna with RVtravel.com. She's the RV pet vet. So y'all hang on. We're going to come back into the show here in just a second. All right, this portion of the RV Show USA is brought to you by Campanda, the world's largest RV rental platform. To learn more about how to turn your RV into an income stream or to book an RV rental for your next adventure, visit campanda.com/money. Campanda.com/money. All right, we have Dr. Deanna, the RV pet vet and staff writer for RVtravel.com. She's on our guest line. We're talking about dogs and campgrounds bouncing all over the place. Dr. Deanna, what advice do you have, or maybe thoughts about people that are trying to save money by not having to put their dog in a kennel? They bring them on a camping trip, and they're not really socially very well adjusted to being at campgrounds.
Yeah. Well, we could talk for a few hours about those kind of things.
Leave them in the kennel.
Well, okay, let's just take dog parks, for example. And I'm just going to mention this very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If your dog doesn't always come when you call it at home, a dog park is not the place to try that either. You've got to always have control of your dog, and dog park is not the place to do that. So if your dog's behavior won't improve at a campground, in fact, it might worsen. So the best thing is to kind of get them trained before you go out. And this doesn't have to be anything fancy. If a lot of dogs just knew what the word no means, we would go a long way towards solving a lot of problems, but they don't, because I think people confuse their dogs. When I had the clinic, for example, we'd be in the exam room, and we'd hear people out in the reception room, and we'd hear somebody doing this with their dog. No, sit down. Come over here. Come here. No, sit. What is that dog supposed to think? Like, okay, what is it exactly that you want me to do? So it's hard. We're not all dog trainers, and there are a lot of good books on the subject, but I think there are a lot of good dog trainers as well. And if people could do that, go to a dog trainer with their dog and learn how to train their dog from a dog trainer, that would probably be the best way.
I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but in general, dog trainers say that they really don't train the dog first. They train the dog's owner first.
Yes, that's very important. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, that's kind of his mantra.
I'll be dang. Talk to us about dog food. I go into the grocery store, and there's about 97 feet of, 5 different shelves of every brand of dog food. And you got the cheapy stuff on one end and the stuff that's like it's as expensive or more so, it seems, than human food. How do you tell a good dog food, and does it really matter what you feed your dog?
Yeah, it matters a lot. I think a lot of, going back to behavioral problems, some behavioral problems can be due to the fact that the dog's just not in very good medical shape because it doesn't get good nutrition. And I guess there's if I had to say one sentence about how to buy a good dog food, I would say this. If you're talking about dry food, that one sentence is, make sure that meat is the first ingredient, and not meat byproducts, not poultry meal, but meat. And it's really better. The fewer ingredients, the better, because it will be less adulterated with other things. If there are a lot of ingredients or substances in the food whose names you can't even pronounce, let alone know what they are, I'd probably stay away from that food as well.
Gotcha. All right, Dr. Deanna, we've got Jim on line 3. He has a question for you. Jim, you there? Jim, you're on with Dr. Deanna. Got to go real quick. Go ahead.
Dr. Deanna, I have a 8-month-old golden retriever. She seems to puke every time we get in the coach.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is another behavioral modification type of problem. I'd like to ask you about 50 questions, but I know we don't have time. When you put her in there, then do you drive away? I know that sounds stupid, but like you're taking her with you on a trip, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when you put her in the coach, and then you take off, do you think she's getting car sick, or do you think she's just anxious?
I think it's the movement.
Like a motion sickness?
I think so. But we have better luck when we don't feed her. But sometimes we travel 5-6 hours, and it's a long day for her to go without food.
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes if a dog is motion sick, has motion sickness, or it's just anxiety or whatever. But you're on the right track not to feed her if you can. If you maybe after you're underway for a few hours, you could give her a partial meal or something. But the thing is that if you don't feed her and then she doesn't throw up, that doesn't mean she's still not nauseated. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
she just
I
doesn't
do.
have anything to throw up. So
Correct.
there are
very well. Thank you.
There's actually there's a new medication out. It's called Sileo, Sileo, and it's really was designed for dogs that have noise aversion problems, like to thunder or fireworks, things like that. But what they're finding out is that it seems to work really well with other kinds of anxiety issues. So if you haven't tried any anti-nausea kind of medication, that'd probably be the best place to start. But if that doesn't really help and you think she's also a little anxious, ask your veterinarian about that.
Yeah. Hopefully, Jim, that helps a little
We will
bit.
do that.
All right.
Well,
Jim,
good.
where are you calling
Thank
from?
you very much.
Where are you calling from?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, good deal. I bet it's plenty warm out there. All right. Thanks for being on the show, Jim. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so let me go back to the food. It sounds like today we got a lot of questions about behavioral stuff rather than medical stuff. So
that's interesting.
Talk to us about going back to food. Is it better to feed your dog wet food or dry food or a combination, and why?
Okay, I have a dog food soapbox that I can get up on, and you don't want me to get too started on that, but I don't like dry food, and I'll just say that right at the outset. I think dry food was made for our convenience, not because it was so great for dogs. So that's the number one thing to remember. If you want to have a convenient food, then that can be your food. But if you research into the way that dry food is made, when all is said and done, at the end of the process, there probably isn't a whole lot of nutrition there, even though there might be meat and vegetables in it. That food is heated to pretty high temperature and gone through an extruder to make those little kibbles. And by the end of the road, I don't know how much nutrition is left in them.
Just a bunch of fill.
Kind of like sometimes they put beet pulp in there for fill, and who knows what all else.
Yummy.
So canned food can be good from the standpoint that I personally believe that dogs and cats that eat only dry food are kind of in a perpetual state of dehydration because it takes so much fluid, water, to break down that food, that dry food. It's like if we ate a box of crackers at every meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd be getting pretty thirsty after that. And so canned food, because of the way it's processed, has a lot of water in it. But there's a lot of variation, too, between a good canned food and a not great canned food, and the criteria are really about the same.
All right, listen, we're out of time, Dr. Deanna,
Okay.
and I know we could go on, and you're so awesome, and we're going to tell everybody to go to rvtravel.com and check out what you write about every week, because I just think you are just a wealth of information for the pet owner, for sure.
Well, thanks, Alan.
All right, you take care and have fun up there in Elkhart.
Will do.
All right, folks, that was Dr. Deanna. Check her out, rvtravel.com. We'll be right back.
For those who watch our...
Hey, that sounded like my
that
daughter.
sounded like
my
me.
baby.
I think it's time for the mother.
Oh yeah. Where's Lisa? Darling.
She said she had to go get some water.
She did. Good.
Yeah, well, she's not allowed.
There's a little bit. There's about 10 cases of it over there. Yeah, we're ready, babe.
I'm going to put up one of my favorite pictures from this broadcast. It's right here. Kind of
Which one is
reminds
that?
me of how I'm feeling right now.
What?
You'll see it on the screen. Just wait.
All right, honey.
I wanted you to ask her about that Hill's prescription food.
We just didn't have time. I mean,
Take
isn't
a
she
look at the
awesome?
screen.
She's just amazing.
Take a look at the screen.
And you
It's
didn't
gonna
even
pop up.
All right. Didn't even have to pay for an office visit.
I know.
Hear about the dry food, though.
Here, it's on mine.
Oh, show me.
And it just disappeared.
I think that's why Jim called, was to get out of paying for an office visit.
You know, that's sad when you've got a dog you love so much and it's got those behavioral problems. So what do? You struggle with it, you deal with it, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
At least we've got a lot of people, and I think most RVers are pretty sensitive to their pets and to other people. I loved what she was saying about the retractable leashes. I mean, honey, we see those all the time up there at Big Chief, don't we? I mean, people that have these big, old, long leashes. I'm thinking, if something happened, what?
I'm wondering if Lisa or Katie have a dog that has behavioral problems they want to deal with on a regular basis.
No, our dogs are
Billy is perfect.
Perfectly behaved.
I wasn't talking about the Chihuahuas.
I know you weren't. We're going to bring your audio down. All right, so we're in a commercial break, folks. Make sure you like this video. Hit the share button if you would. As Miss Katie says, show us some love. And let your friends know about the RV Show USA. We start out at 7 p.m. every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, with a live program. This is the country's #1 radio show about the RV lifestyle. And we are getting ready to make some changes. I think there's Jim saying thank you, Dr. D. We're getting ready to make some changes where we're going to be a little bit more interactive. So if you have questions or comments, we're going to be holding our guests over in these commercial breaks, so you'll be able to visit with them like we did about, I think, what was it, Danny, that had the Yorkie that had the little problem. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Let us know where you're watching from. Did anybody tell you where they were watching from?
I mean, we got a lot of people. We got people watching from Florida.
How did the watch party deal go?
We actually cannot share a live video from our page. So I went to the what's it called? The groups, and we can share it after it's been live.
So you can share a recorded video.
Correct,
You can
but
also share a live video.
we are shared, and we are doing our watch party on the page. So it is exciting. The show, we want it to be more interactive for everybody. We want everybody to get a chance to talk to our guests and have fun.
Especially, you guys on social media, because social media is so popular. On the radio, it's chop, 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 chop. But here on social media, we have to follow our clock. But then during the commercial breaks, we can do
and
whatever
we
we
see so
want.
many questions, and we want to talk to everybody. So it's nice to be able to bring our guests in. We've been thinking, how can we do this? And it hit us, and now we're bringing the guests in and talking.
All right,
to
we got to
them.
wrap it up. 5 seconds, guys.
The RV Show USA.
All right, so a little over a year ago, we went to Alaska for a little vacation. How many of y'all listening have been to Alaska? How many of you want to go to Alaska? Well, for the next few minutes and probably over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about RVing and exploring this wonderful state. Now, I have been to Alaska, I guess, 8 or 10 times, and I absolutely love it. But the real truth is I have only seen a little tiny bit of Alaska. It's kind of like saying, hey, I've been to Texas, and you only been to to Dallas. That is part of Texas, but that ain't Texas. Well, I've been a little bit into Alaska, but there is so much more to explore, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely mesmerizing. So it's impossible to cover the subject in one segment or one show. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about Alaska and about RVing in Alaska, because I think we've got a pretty cool story to tell. So to begin with, I've got my bride, Lisa, who is in the studio with me. And Lisa, why don't you tell everybody what we did last year when we went up to Alaska and kind of how it started out and some of the stuff that we saw and did.
Oh my gosh, it was, well, I have two words to describe Alaska: breathtaking and majestic. It is just beyond imaginable how beautiful it is. You could be a amateur photographer and snap a picture and it just comes out like it should be in a frame. Well, of course, you know what I liked about it. I loved eating the crab. That was the best part.
Yeah, if you like seafood, if you like Alaskan king crab, these are king crabs like on steroids. We stopped at a place and they had, I don't know how much they weigh. What do they weigh?
Oh my gosh, the legs were about 1.5 pounds a piece.
They were over 1 pound a piece for a crab leg, and I want to say each leg was like $100 or something.
70, yes, like $75 to $100.
It was unbelievable. It is such a beautiful place, and the pictures. Actually, we're showing some pictures right now on social media that we took with our iPhones, and iPhones don't take really very good pictures all the time. We got that giant crab legs going, but iPhones don't typically take super good still photographs and capture the beauty the way a different type of camera would. But I'm telling you, we got some gorgeous pictures and some memories. We went to Seward. Actually, what happened was, this is kind of a small world story, that we had a layover. We flew from San Antonio into Seattle. And then we had this layover for several hours, and we're, talking about going to Alaska. And this man sitting by himself at a table next to us, having a cocktail, and he says, where y'all going? And we told him, he says, well, I don't know, this is kind of a weird question, but do you guys know anything about RVs? Have you ever RV'd? And we looked up at each other like, huh?
Yeah, ironic.
Remember that? And he runs a company called Great Alaskan Holidays in Anchorage, and they have like 400 of these Class C motorhomes that they rent out to people like you and me. And people fly up to Anchorage, they rent these Class C motorhomes, and they take off RVing for a week to wherever they want to go, and it is a spectacular vacation. So we spent the next couple of hours in the Seattle airport. I was learning all about how they do business up there. And then when we finally got up to Anchorage, we drove down. Actually, where did we get on the train?
We took the train in Anchorage. That was one of the highlights for me, was getting on that train that had the clear roof where you could see.
Imagine an old train that may be, I don't know, 50 years old, older than 50 years old, called the Great Alaskan Railroad. It's 50 or 60 years old. Looks like it's brand spanking new. Beautiful, with a glass roof on it. And it was quiet, and it was clean, and white tablecloth, linen
they served
tablecloth.
Breakfast and cocktails, and just you got to look at all Alaska's beauty.
And we're winding our way down from Anchorage down into Seward, and all of a sudden you look up through the clear glass on this train as you're silently moving down the tracks, and eagles, folks, bald eagles are just entertaining you, flying across the top, side to side across your roof. It is just and I did not think I was going to like this train ride. I'm like, a train ride? Give me a break. It was fabulous. Then we got down to Seward.
Oh, that town is unbelievable. It is like a slice of heaven on earth. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. The area, the harbor, was just with all the ships in it, and then you could stand on the rail there and watch all the little sea lions, or the otters. They were otters.
Yeah, the sea otters, yep.
Yes, the otters, and they were swimming around and playing, and that was just so cool to watch. And then walking down the little streets with all the little shops and knickknacks, and just and the weather. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, we went a little bit later than this time of year, May, June, late May, early June last year, and it was just unbelievable. But you know what? I've never had a bad trip to Alaska. What am I getting? The signal to wrap it up? Coming up in our next break, folks, is a couple that I've never met in person, but I have watched their videos for quite some time, and they have got like 80 YouTube videos about Alaska. We're gonna get them on here in just a second. It's Gary and Stacy from Powell Hanna Travel. So y'all stick around. This is the RV Show USA. I'm Alan Warren with my wife Lisa, and we'll be right back.
For you listeners who are on Facebook, have you liked our Facebook page yet?
All right. Doing good. Yeah, Alaska was just unbelievable. Have you got any other pictures to show, honey, while we're in a break?
I can show the same ones again. That's what I have loaded.
Nobody likes those pictures. Yeah, those king crabs are awesome. And between the
Crab
king
and butter.
I get like a bucket of butter and 3 or 4 crab legs and drink the butter and chase it down with a crab leg. Oh, it's just absolutely wonderful. And then we went deep sea fishing, or it was deep water, but we went fishing for halibut at Seward and caught a whole pile of these beautiful big old fish. Had them shrink wrapped, vacuum sealed, and shipped back to San Antonio. And the first couple of little fillets, I didn't realize how dry, how lean halibut is. So it did take me a little while to,
Gorged for weeks.
Yeah, then I gorged. Absolutely. I learned how to broil halibut, and it is delightful, I'm telling you.
You have a fantastic recipe for it, too.
Yeah.
I don't know where you found that, but it is
I don't know
delicious.
where I found it either. But while we got people, if you're wondering, I'll tell you my little recipe. It's pretty simple. You got a big old halibut steak. It's got to be thawed out room temperature, dry. Put a little bit of olive oil on it. Make sure the olive oil soaks in, and then just put some kosher salt on it. All right, that's it. Before you stick it in the oven, you got to mix butter, soft butter, not melted butter, but soft butter and mayonnaise. And I like about a 2/3 butter, 1/3 mayonnaise mix. Mix it, throw a little bit of kosher salt in there, mix it, and then dump a bunch of Parmesan cheese in and mix it all together. It's kind of a paste. And halibut, you turn the oven on broil. It only takes about 3 minutes per side. It's very lean. You do not want to overcook halibut because it gets quite dry. And anyway, you stick it in the oven on one side, pull it out, flip it over, and then when it's about almost done, 2 minutes or so from being done, you pull it out and you put that paste on it, your Parmesan cheese, mayonnaise, butter combination, and I put more Parmesan on it. It is to die for. You get a cup of butter, melted butter. It is the best ever.
And halibut's expensive. I don't know why I got the nickname poor man's lobster, but let me tell you, you can, if you don't like all that other stuff on it, you could just broil it and baste it while you're doing it with butter, and then just break it off little pieces and dip it in garlic butter. It's delicious.
It is really, really good. So we've got Stacy and Gary on with what?
So why a lot of people go through a lot of trouble to do that fish properly?
Let me guess. For the halibut. I knew you were going to do
for
that.
The halibut, that's a good one.
I'm ahead of you tonight. I'm ahead of you.
That was cute.
All right, so how many of y'all have Alaska on your bucket list? Would you like to go to Alaska? It really is. I'm telling you, Goose. It is unbelievable.
Jim Schultz says he's going on a land tour and southbound cruise in July.
Really?
Ooh,
I'm trying to talk myself and my bride into going up there again this summer and renting from Great Alaskan Holidays. I think we might have to do it. Might have to do a radio show from up there. What do you think?
Remember when we drove down to Soldotna and we had more crab there, but remember seeing that moose crossing
right
the road,
next,
and we pulled up. It was 15 feet from us.
It wasn't like a deer that, as soon as you stop the car, it runs away. This is like a big old horse just standing there. All right, we got 20 seconds to go, folks. Y'all hang on.
That was cool.
And find out.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
All right, so we have been talking about Alaska in the last segment and looking at some pictures that we took last summer when we were there, and we are working up, I guess, a pretty good case of the got to go back again. So 1-855-296-7469 if you got some questions about Alaska, maybe some travel tips about RVing in Alaska. We'd love to get you on this segment. Gary, how you doing? You're on line 3. You there?
Oh, yes. We're here, sir. How are you tonight?
Good. Hiya, Stacy. All right, folks. Gary and Stacy are from Pal Hannah Travels. Yep, called Pal Hannah Travels. And I am so glad you're on with us. You guys only have about 80 YouTube videos about Alaska. Tell everybody about them.
Yeah, it's just a small library of Alaska travel.
Last summer, we spent 125 days up in the land of the midnight sun, and we chronicled every drive day, every overnight boondocking, campsite, campground, excursion activity. We did it all, and we did it all for our viewers.
And so you guys have a very popular YouTube channel. Spell it so everybody that's listening can spell it right and find you guys.
Absolutely. It's Pauhana Travels. It's Pauhana Travels.com is our website. And you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media outlets.
And what does Pauhana mean?
Oh, Pauhana.
Pauhana
Awesome.
in Hawaiian has 3 very loose translations, and it basically means done with work, quitting time, or happy hour.
I like that. I like that a lot. In fact,
we do too. It fits our lifestyle.
It looks like it. I watched, you may not even remember some of these videos, but I saw you guys on your way up, I guess, driving on the Alcan Highway, and I want to ask you about that in a minute. But y'all found these hot springs that you were just soaking in these big old natural hot springs?
You must be talking about Layard Hot Springs.
Well, as RVers, when we don't have a bathtub available to us, hot springs become very important. And we hit about 4 hot springs in our entire adventures, some in Alberta, some in British Columbia, some in the Yukon, and one even in Alaska. But yes, our favorite was Layard Hot Springs in the upper portions of British Columbia. Absolutely beautiful.
You know, Layard Hot Springs has to be a destination for anybody who's thinking about going into BC.
You have to stop.
Yeah,
it's mandatory.
So amazing.
So y'all drove up from the States, I guess obviously probably up through Washington, Vancouver, and then drove up the Alcan Highway. What was that like? Would you recommend doing it again? Would you guys do it again or recommend it to somebody else?
Yeah,
we're doing it again.
We're doing it again next year, but we didn't go on the west coast up. We took the Alcan, which actually brought us up through Banff and Jasper up to Dawson Creek, which is the start of the Alcan, mile 0.
Okay.
And then we took the Alcan all the way to, I think it's 1,422 miles in Delta Junction, Alaska, which is the official end of the Alcan.
Was it a difficult drive, a dangerous drive? Tell us about it.
You know, the drive is not that bad. The thing is, it's so beautiful, you want to go a bit slower so you can see all the scenery. The speed limit may be 55, 60, but you're actually only going to go 45, maybe 50 miles an hour through this because it's so amazingly beautiful, and you have this wildlife.
Cute, fuzzy little grizzly bears that want to eat you.
They're just crossing the road left and right, and once in a while you'll see the elk, and you'll see the
elk. Caribou.
Caribou.
You'll see the wood bison, and you'll see the mountain goats, and it's just you want to take your time to see all the beauty.
We say the best thing about driving to Alaska is Canada because it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, British Columbia. I've been to BC. There's no place prettier than that. That's for sure.
That is the truth.
Beautiful British Columbia. I mean, that is their tagline for their province.
So what are you going to do differently this next trip to Alaska? You can't stay any longer. If you do, it's going to be winter time. What are you going to do differently next time?
Oh, yeah.
We are going to take a little bit longer and do some of the things we passed up last year. Last year we did it, I don't want to say on the cheap, but we did it very economically. Our entire summer only cost us around $6,500. And that's gas, entertainment, campgrounds. The only thing it didn't cover was food because everybody eats differently.
What was the biggest surprise? If I go up, if I didn't, I'm a RVer. I'm going to go up for the first time. What do I need to be prepared for that y'all were surprised with? And I know you're big planners. What do I need to be prepared for?
The biggest thing I found that you have to be really prepared for, and it's going to take a while to adjust to, is the amount of daylight you're going to experience in June, probably May.
Starting right now, actually.
May, June, and July, and most of August, the daylight is forever.
It's endless.
It's endless daylight. You don't get nighttime skies. You have twilight forever, which is beautiful, but your body takes a little while to condition to the all-day light.
We had to set alarms to remind us to settle down and go to bed.
At 8 p.m. or, sometimes at 8 p.m. we had to set an alarm. Hey, have you had dinner yet? Come on, now it's time to eat.
Because your body is not used to that at all. But you know what? The flip side is 6 months from now, it's going to be dark all the time.
Exactly.
Not for us, though.
right.
Y'all travel wherever you want to.
Back in the lower 48 in the desert.
Yeah.
Guys, I got a favor to ask of you. You are just so knowledgeable about spending so many months up there in Alaska last year. Could we get you back on maybe next week and maybe even the following week for an extended amount of time to talk about Pauhana Travels and learn everything that we can from you about traveling in Alaska?
Absolutely.
I sure think we can make that work.
It's something that we've worked our brand around. That is our niche. We feel we want to educate folks about Alaska. I'm very active in the Alaska RVing community on Facebook, and we also have a free route guide on our website that our followers can get to see exactly where we went while we're up there. So we would love to share that information with you and your fans.
Awesome. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to got to jump for a break. I'll be in touch this week. We're going to get you back on soon. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking with you again, okay?
All right, Alan. Thanks a lot. You have a great afternoon and evening.
All right, you take care. All right, folks, that's Gary and Stacy Pauhana Travels. Super smart about Alaska. One more break to go. I'll be right back. All right, your mic's hot, baby girl. You want to go?
That's very good.
You wants to go? You want to go to Alaska?
I want to go to Alaska. You know I want to go to Alaska.
It's a long way, but it's certainly worth it. You know, you must have pinned that right there. Hello, Larry and Pamela and Gail and David. Trip sounds fun. Yeah, I'm telling you, you know, we went up there. Actually, we did a cruise last year. We saved up our money, and we got on a cruise ship from Seward, and then we went down to Vancouver. It was spectacular, but it was too short. You know, it was a 7-day cruise, which sounds like a long time, but when you are just surrounded, I mean, it's like you're just smothered in nature and the environment. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And the problem is once you go there, you're going to want to go back over and over again. All right, so we got a little bit less than 2 minutes to go. This is the RV Show USA.
Yes, it is.
And we are excited about some of the changes that are going to be taking place. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them right now. You better do it quick, though.
I just have to say, I think this has been a very successful introduction to what we're going to be having as our own watch party.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're doing this and we're making these changes because of y'all, literally, because if it wasn't for our listeners, our viewers, and the people that follow us, we wouldn't have a show. And we also need our good sponsors who are so supportive and awesome.
You know, this is their show. This is the viewer show.
It is. It is. And we want you to feel like it's your show. If you've got a comment or a question, you know, Danny, I hope that if you're still listening, that Dr. Deanna gave you some good information. I know she can't dispense medical advice. She's a retired veterinarian, you know, about taking care of your little Yorkie, but hopefully you got some of the answers you wanted. And Jim, listening from Las Vegas, I hope you felt good as well talking with her. She's really very knowledgeable. Check her out, rvtravel.com. Every Saturday they've got a great newsletter. Comes out Saturday morning. You can have your cup of coffee, and as I say, you can thank me later. I'm going to do the same monologue. What do you say? I'm going to do the same monologue I did this last hour. What do you
It
think?
was a good one.
Is it
I think,
worth
I
it?
think so.
Worth it?
Yeah.
All right. What do y'all think? No?
David Moore wants to know,
Yes?
when you get Pal Hannah back on, he says inquire about the weather on that side of the world during that time of year.
Take a raincoat. That's what I'm telling you. All right, 15 seconds to go. I'm killing your mic, baby girl.
All right.
The RV Show USA.
All right, in the last segment of the show every week, I try and leave you. Sometimes an RV can be like looking at 10 pirate ships coming straight at you, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Today's RVs, well, they are more complex than they were 15, 20 years ago, but they are nothing to grab your brown pants about. It's an estimated that 80% of any problem you encounter with your RV, you can fix yourself. You really can. And with the help of Google and YouTube, when you do have a situation you're unsure of, there seem to be endless resources available. Now, for the newbie RVer, or those who would like to become an RVer, looking at RVs and seeing all the electronics and the slide outs and satellite antennas and black water tanks and gray water tanks and keeping everything in perspective, it can be like looking at 10 pirate ships coming at you. But you know what? It's not nearly as scary as you may imagine. RVing is not a thing, as I say. It's not like going to a football game that's over in a few hours. It is a process. It's an experience. A long, wonderful, sometimes stressful, but for nearly everybody that does it, RVing becomes a lifelong passion, an opportunity to escape reality and to chill out a bit and connect with your family differently than you do in your normal day-to-day life. So keep in mind that RVing is really an experience. It is not a race. Good news is, no matter how much or how little you may know about RVing, you will likely never stop learning. Something else for you newbies, most RVers are super helpful. They really are. And once upon a time, remember, they were feeling a little overwhelmed as well. So no need to have your first mate bring you your red shirt or your brown pants. Just take it slow and easy and enjoy the process, the experience, even the occasional bump in the road, because the good far outweighs the bad. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for being with us. We are most grateful. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook. Join our live watch parties on Facebook and social media. They are a lot of fun. Until next week, I'm Alan Warren, reminding everybody that the way we RVers spell love, well, it's Time. And we spend that time with family and friends enjoying the wonderful RV lifestyle. All right, Goose, get us out of here.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America. Let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV. Crosses great.
All right, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. We appreciate it. Make sure you tell your friends about us. Add your name to our email list. We do not bombard you with information. Hang on, let me turn your microphone on.
What should they do that I always say?
Well, go ahead and say it. You say it, baby.
Show us some love.
Yeah, show us some love. But you can subscribe to our newsletter. We send out occasional updates and bumps, notifications when we go live. Thank you again very much. Hope you have a great week, what's left of it, and that you will connect with us on Facebook and social media. Let us know what you'd like to hear on the show. This is your show, and we're making changes to accommodate y'all, okay? Thank you again, everybody. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.